Hello, Senior Vice President of Madelle. My name's Ashley. I'm the Director of Sales for the doll Angelica, our most recognizable doll, which started around 60 years ago. So I know that we lost We Are Toys, but we are finding the two new sales channels in order to replace this loss. And this will end up benefiting Madelle, and we're going to look at how it's going to benefit the clientele, and we're going to look at the benefits of the new sales channel themselves. In this meeting today, we are going to talk about the purpose of the selling function, the concept of target market identification, the importance of channels of distribution, and we're going to look at both of the proposed channels being grocery stores and department stores. So to start, we're going to talk about the process of the selling function. So the definition of selling is determining the client's wants and needs through direct planning and personalized communication. So this is how we're going to build a bond with the customer, so that way they are more likely to come to us and we are open to helping them, and that makes it look like we are willing to help them with whatever they need. So one of the important ways to do this is through salesperson in person. So this way the salesperson can actually show like where they need to go. Like with We Are Toys, for example, they were able to like provide them and like show them a doll, so that way they knew they could go there and they could get help with whatever they needed to get for their children, because most likely the parent is shopping for a doll for their child. And according to our statistics, we saw that a huge increase that people are more likely to buy a product once they have received help, rather than if they just had to find it on their own, and then they would eventually have to give up finding it on their own because they could never find it. So that's the importance of a salesperson, so they can help find what exactly a customer needs. And we also have to go with the website and have a way to reach them there. So to do this, we could put on our already established website the messaging system, so that way, because we have such a large variety of toys that you can get on the website, then you will have to go to a messaging system. You could go to that, so that way a person can find and message a worker directly, so they can lead them exactly where they need to go on the website to buy the toy that they want and get the specific around what they exactly want, and so that way they can buy it. Our next point is the concept of the target market identification. So this is breaking down your overall market into different marketing segments based on characteristics, and then you will choose the most profitable one. Obviously, your target market is going to be young girls. So that way, this is the most way you'll get the most profit, because it's on the little girls' dolls. So this is really important to do, so that way you can focus on one group and provide for the wants and needs of only the little girls, rather than trying to fit the needs of every single person in that market, because that's impossible, and you'll lose money that way because you can't appeal to everyone. So you have to choose the specific market that you want to focus in on, which is going to be little girls, because that's what will earn you the most profit. The next point that we are going to talk about is the importance of the channels of distribution. So distribution is the process of getting goods into the customer's hands, including management of transportation. So the goal of distribution is to find the best way to get the product to the customer based on their preferred purchasing methods. This is successful when it's convenient for the customer to get what they want. So online, that involves shipping and how you're going to get it there specifically, and in person, that's just making sure they know where it is and they can be convenient to get it. So this is really important, because if it's not convenient for them to get it, they'll be less likely to actually buy the product. So if it takes too long to ship, then they'll know they shouldn't order the doll from your website ever again, rather than, and if you make it faster to ship, they will be more likely to want to come back and get that actual product that you were selling. And in person, if they can't find it in the store and it's really hard to find, then it's even worse for them to want to actually buy it in person, because even if online fails, they could go in person. But if that also fails, then you will ultimately fail as a company, because your distribution was not exactly where it needed to be for the convenience of the customer. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the proposed channels that we have, which is grocery stores and department stores. So first we're going to look at the grocery stores and look at the pros of those stores. So the pros of a grocery store is that it'll be very cheap. And if the parent comes with a child, they will definitely go to the toys rather than looking at the food. But the cons of this are there are a very small amount of toys in a grocery store. People don't usually go for grocery stores for toys. And they are mainly focused on shopping for what foods they need. So There are more cons than there are pros for going to a grocery store. While a department store, there are more pros than there are cons. So for pros in the department store, there's definitely a salesperson that can help. There's a big section of toys. Sometimes an entire floor is dedicated to it. There's more to shop for, and there's a larger variety to choose from. So that way people will come back there specifically to get the doll that they're looking for. And the cons are people may go to the department store just for clothes or other things, and they're not usually looking for toys. So obviously the best option for us is to go for department stores because that is a more likely thing to people go to for toys. As we can see by the graph here, the green line represents the grocery stores, while the red line represents the department stores. More people typically go to department stores for toys rather than grocery stores. So if I were to choose one, and I had to choose one, the best one would definitely be to go for department stores because there's a larger section of toys, and people usually think about that more than going to grocery stores for toys. So we should definitely go with the department stores if we are only going to choose one of the two channels. That is my best advice for you. And I really hope that this meeting was helpful and that we will make up for the loss of We Are Toys. Thank you for your time, Senior Vice President. Have a nice day.